What's going on? How y'all doing? What's going on? Welcome to speaker.com. Been having some issues. I don't know what's going on with YouTube because I can't see them load my videos. But anyway, you can't keep a brother from voicing his opinion down, and I'm definitely going to talk about it. So this video meets the airwaves. I'm going to let it be known how I feel. Between Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Tim Scott lying about the racism in this country. Yeah, America is racist. Yeah, they got issues. Police institutionalized systematic racism. How they going to sit there and say that they don't have racist people when over 400 years when black people been oppressed and slavery was legalized and constituted, and the legalization of genocide against black folks by police that still go on to this day? How can they sit there and part their lips to say that? How can Joe Biden sit there and say, well, black folks have been oppressed for 400 years, but then say, but we don't know if we have racist people? Say that with Kamala Harris. Let me tell you something. Politicians are politicians. It don't make no difference. Then just because they black don't mean they won't tap dance. Tim Scott up there, Republican, up there tap dancing, up there shucking and bucking and clucking and chucking, ain't offering no defense against these racist cops and these people up here. And then now they're trying to throw cigarettes up there. I'm like, yeah, cigarettes have been racist. Joycelyn Elders, who used to be the former Surgeon General back during the Bill Clinton era, said, and I remember her quote, that cigarettes must have been chained to a slave master because they have long-lasting residual effects and impacts, which they do, because they stay in your lungs. They are not healthy. They have more long-term damage than smoking marijuana and things because they can be passed on for generations to come. So when you tie somebody saying that cigarettes, Marlboro, and all that is racist, but then, yeah, the people promoting them is all tied to it. So don't sit up there and act like it ain't connected, because the dots do connect. So I don't want to hear nothing that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris or Tim Scott got to say, because Donald Trump showed you how racist the country was. He wore his bigotry openly and proudly. And then he had the supporters, and the QAnon, and all these other irons have definitely showed their agenda. What do you think Make America Great Again was about? What you think that was about? It wasn't inclusive to black folks, So when they sit up there and shuck and tell these lies to TV, I don't know who they're trying to appeal to. Well, I know what they're trying to say, because the thing that that Biden ain't about nothing is that he's trying to do this bipartisan thing. Now, if you watched his little old speech the other night, you clearly saw even Mitt Romney, who he will definitely tap dance on both sides of the fence. He didn't stand and clap for nothing Sleepy Joe was saying. They don't feel Joe Biden at all. They don't respect him. They look at him like he's just something that's there. That's all. That's the Republican side. And Kamala Harris, she be pulling that kumbaya. She'll talk that Tiger Woods, that she's this and she's that, and whatever she wants to claim for the day, whatever she wants to claim. Tim Scott, he just be tap dancing, Republican. He just be tap dancing. He ain't saying nothing. He's not doing nothing at all. Heck yeah, you don't have to be Scooby-Doo to figure out, yes, the people are racist in this country. Yes, they have opposed black people. And yes, progression for black folks has definitely been stepped on. Derek Chauvin with his foot on George Floyd's neck was symbolic of what's gone on for 400 years. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. There are a million more George Floyd cases you just ain't never heard about. But they were there. Nothing new. So, reading between the lines of this whole thing and just kind of like taking this all in, now you throw in cigarettes. Well, all that was geared towards the black community. Cigarettes, alcohol, caps, all that. Why do you think that was? Now all of a sudden people going to act like they fake woke. Like all of a sudden they can see the light when things have been there. Sleepy Joe didn't do nothing for many, many years. Now I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden he's going to act like he cares. Get out of here. He just now acting fake woke. But they all acting fake woke. There ain't no genuineness there. And so I laugh and cringe when anybody says this country ain't racist. Because if America ain't racist, then explain away all the rules that were in place that are now felonies or convictions were used against African Americans to start this country. All of them. Who gets auctioned off? Black folks. Why do they still have the Electoral College? The Electoral College was used as a means for slave masters for the slaves that own the property. Think about it. Let Google be your friend. So all this stuff is just tied to a chain, you know. They still lie to you about the whitewashing with school. They still throwing Christopher Columbus and all this other garbage at you. So they're going to throw all this at you. You know, Joe Biden is never going to tell the truth, because if he was to tell the truth, his white privilege might get snapped. You know, it's just pitiful. The whole insurrection showed you how racist the country was. These polices here ain't going to change. You know, you need reparations, you need an apology. That would shake the core up. Imagine if they had to be respectful black folks. Really. That would shake the core up. And until that day comes, well, it's a cold day, and you know what? Because ain't nobody gonna care to do the right thing. That's the sorry state commentary. So when I hear these politicians get on TV talking about, well, there's institutionalized systematic racism, but the people aren't. I'm like, what crack pipe are you smoking from? Because it has to start with somebody. Ask J. Edgar Hoover, who gets honored by FBI building, what he thought about black folks. When you read up and you follow different people through patterns, you see what's there. You're not in for no surprise. You know. They are, though. Because some of the people who sit there and tolerate this foolishness will sit there and justify people saying all kinds of ignorant stuff to say, well, you know, maybe it ain't so bad, maybe it ain't this. Yes, it's bad. I tell them all the time, all over the world, you don't even know what African Americans had to go through in this country in terms of just functioning, because people have spun and manipulated things for so much that you don't ever get the truth of it. You get like a hodgepodge of something, but I don't know what that is, you know, because they all take a moment and they kind of be real sly, and they be like, okay, it's just a reality that's an ugly monster that's there. It's just something that, you know, and we could sit here and talk about it all day, all night, you know. I have no problem talking about it because it's a very serious issue. You know, it's the pandemic that there is no cure for. There is no jab, because if they wanted to really work on systematic racism, they would not only defund the police, they would really get into them about, you know, catch them off guard. And the thing is you hear serve and protect, but then you ask yourself, you see how they guard certain things, but they don't come out and tell you, you know, that your life matters, that your life is a balance, you know. So it's a real juggernaut and a real conflicting chain of events. And the thing about it is that, yes, 40 acres and a mule and an apology, all that is on the clock, you know. So, excuse me, when I hear all this craziness that these politicians spew about downplaying racism, I'm cringing, because I'm like, are you crazy? I mean, if we're talking about over 400 years of systematic institutionalized, then what are you talking about? You know, it is what it is, and it becomes what it becomes. So it's just a matter, do you want to get on the ball and try to eliminate, or do you feel like, oh, well, you know, it's just a matter of holding these politicians, these people accountable. Because, I mean, just to sit there and have them sit there and lie to people, and they are lying to the world when they say there ain't no racist people in America. Are you crazy? They are lying left and right. You know, and I don't trust Sleepy Joe no far. I could throw him and Stevie Wonder to sleep even. Because this turkey came out here and said, I wonder what Stevie Wonder would do today. I mean, wonder what black people. No, I'm using Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder could tell you that how racist it is here in this country. Now, what Joe Biden said, you're not black if you don't vote for me. Now, what kind of ignorant remark is that? Especially from a guy that signed to have more black people incarcerated with the laws. And as much as I despise and I can't stand a racist, bigot, smug, no talent having hack like Donald Trump, he was right about Sleepy Joe. And when he was right about somebody, he didn't miss. And Kamala Harris, she up here talking out of pocket. She's talking the same old talking Tim Scott. Because all they do is play like they are opposite sides on TV. And then when they get on the screen, when the cameras ain't rolling, they besties, okay? So that's all it is. You know. And, you know, she got the position. I'm not expecting nothing. They haven't showed me nothing. First 100 days, what have they done? They done common sense stuff, but, you know, it's a lot to go on. It's a lot more at least be the desire with that. But it just got me somewhat stomped in my thoughts that these people would come out here and say that the people here aren't racist. Are you crazy? What do you think Ku Klux Klans are? What do you think NRAs are? What do you think FBI agents are who knew about Medgar Evers? Okay? Who knew about Dr. King, who sat there and spied on him and Malcolm X? Come on now. Don't nobody fool you with this rhetoric. They know. You know. Happens all the time. You know. So, I'm just saying, don't trust nothing that they got to say. None of them politicians. Because they all are going to spin it to say what they want to say. You know. You would think if you're going to acknowledge this and acknowledge that, there's only one step to take. And you don't go backwards. But you just tell the truth. You know, you let it be known that, hey, this plantation is real. You know. And you need something to kind of like, you know, you might laugh about certain things, but there's just nothing funny to laugh at. It's a sorry state of affairs. And, you know, the country has not done right by the people that have been very prosperous. You know. So there's a lot that's going on. So, you know, I'm not trying to hear what Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Tim Scott's got to say about race in America at all. We know cigarettes is racist, and we know that alcohol in them communities is racist too. And they still profit off of it. You know, they still profit off of it right now. So, it's just, you know, just one of those things that you kind of got to psychologically chalk up and deal with. But whatever you do, don't let them tell you that you're seeing things and you're hallucinating, because that's one of the biggest crocs there is. Oh, you're just imagining it. Oh, it's not really that bad. You know. They don't see. And that's the thing. You get certain people who don't see, don't feel nothing, and would rather just, you know, stir up some stew of the negative to downplay the obvious, you know. So, you know, I'm hoping that this video goes through, because I done had some issues with YouTube. I don't know what they don't mess on my channel up or whatnot. But I got videos to go, but I had to throw all these in. And they all connect. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Tim Scott, marijuana, and, you know, how you look at it. But anyway, it's always been a stone gas. Definitely great to talk again. This is too much of an important subject and topic to ignore. And I can't afford to not discuss it, because the holiday's over. You know, you want to go do different things, and you want to kind of have it together, and you try to normalize what you can. So I'm going to give it a go, and thank you for listening. Peace and the best. I welcome thoughts and comments and feedback, and until I get my channel back on what I'm doing, I'll probably try to hit it up from here. But anyway, appreciate, and I welcome thoughts and comments. And don't let politicians sway you on the truth. Till next time, peace and the best. I'm out. Later.